Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Every once in a person's lifetime, someone dreams of coming in contact with a person who would forever and always hold us when the stars never seemed to shine. That would tell us that they loved us until the end of time, and if the world was going down in flames, they'd know everything was going to be okay because they had that one special person in their life that would forever and always hold them close, no matter what. And that's what Descendant stars have represented to each and every one of us growing up with these franchises that we have beloved for forever. Descendants and Zombies will forever and always hold a special place in our hearts because of the true meaning behind every song, or every lyric, or every script moment that changed our lives from one moment to the next because we never knew quite what to expect from each chapter in Descendants' franchise. The thing was, these characters were larger than life, and we drew inspiration from these characters, and they forever and always held a special place in our heart because of what they offered to us for the last 10 years. No matter if you remember being a fan of Dove Cameron, Kylie Cantrell, or for me, falling in love with Ruby Rose Turner because of how genuinely kind and how sweet she was, forever and always holding a special place in my heart because Ruby lit up every room that she ever stepped into and brought the best of everybody she ever had the honor of working with. The projects that Ruby Rose Turner had the honor of working on the set of were pretty much franchises that gave Ruby Rose Turner more of an opportunity than she had ever been presented with before. Like Descendants. Descendants was a revered role for Ruby to don. The character Bridget exemplified how much of a profound impact bullying can have on a person's heart, and also demonstrated how much further kindness can touch a person's heart when they least expect it, because every day in our lifetime we see someone who just needs a little bit of extra kindness shown to them in their own life, depending on what they may or may not be going through. But that's what I've always tried to emphasize on every video that I've uploaded to this YouTube channel, is just how much further kindness can go and how much of a profound impact it's had on people's hearts. And who can be credited to showing me that would definitely have to be Ruby Rose Turner, because of how genuinely kind and sweet she actually was. I say this because a lot of people have been given these opportunities to work in the Descendants franchise and really have never made the most of the opportunities they've been presented with because they were pretty much underappreciative of being given these honors, like donning the roles of the characters Mal and Evie. I think they looked at these opportunities as breakout roles to really introduce us to a new global audience, and after they introduced themselves to a new global audience, I think they pretty much just forgot about the contributions they had given to us and shown to us as part of the Descendants franchise, which is why I give people like Ruby Rose Turner a profound amount of credit for coming from out of nowhere, seemingly, after being on a show that was very short-lived, a show that ended long before its time, Coop and Cammy Asked the World, and really bring this character to life, the young Queen of Hearts, that everybody instantly fell in love with. If you told me that you didn't instantly fall in love with Bridget back in 2024, I think you would be lying, and I don't know if I'd ever believe you. Because the song Life is Sweet When You're was a bubblegum type song that instantly got stuck in all of our heads. It's been embedded in my brain for forever, and it's been a song that I've been listening to for forever. I'm surprised I haven't got any noise complaints from my neighbors or my next door neighbor across the street, because in all honesty, I've listened to that song over 1,000 times. And talking about Ruby Rose Turner and all her accomplishments has become one of the greatest honors and accolades of my career. You know, in almost 30 years, I've had the honor of talking about a lot of celebrities, and I've profiled some of the greatest moments in celebrity history, from Lindsay Lohan to Hilary Duff to Miley Cyrus to Selena Gomez to Demi Lovato cracking under pressure many years ago. But I have never had the honor of talking about some of my favorite stars like I have with Descendants and Zombies, because I found kindness and warmth inside the hearts of these stars who you guys drew inspiration from. And because I know these stars mean so much to each and every one of you, it's become the greatest honor of my life to profile these stars, and I've had no regrets since. Did I think maybe 15 years ago I'd be sitting in this chair telling you guys to prepare yourself for a zombie apocalypse and making it seem more real than ever before, or the possibilities or chances of an alien invasion happening on planet Earth becoming more realistic than ever before day by day? The thing is, I do that to really bring these franchises to light, because how many videos do you watch where people just pretty much review Descendants and Zombies for the sake of reviewing Descendants and Zombies? I mean, let's be real. They've never watched Descendants and Zombies. They don't know the first thing about Bridget or Kylie Cantrell or Red or Malia Baker or Chloe Charm. They don't know what Descendants really means. It's a franchise that has definitely come a long way in over 10 years, because it gives us meaning and it helps us find purpose in our own lives, and it gives us the incentive to to be more creative than ever before, because the thing is about being a fan of Descendants and Zombies, it encourages us not only that dreams can happen for anybody, but it also encourages us to dream. And what I mean by encourages us to dream is that we think about the possibilities of what's coming next for Descendants and Zombies and what could be coming next for someone like Ruby Rose Turner, who I'm particularly fond of because of just how much she offered to this franchise. I really believe that Bridget's story is far from over. I really believe that she still has a long way to go, and I was just getting settled in with Ruby Rose Turner being a part of the foreseeable future of Descendants and Zombies, and moving forward I thought she was going to be a part of the project. And then when I heard the announcement on X that Ruby was parting ways with the franchise, my heart was broken, because you just can't tell a story of one specific character in just under 90 minutes and believe that the story has been told and completed. No matter how many times you try to convince yourself that the story has been told and completed, the story is far from over. And I think that we're drawing a formidable conclusion by closing the book and slamming it shut on Ruby Rose Turner. I think the door has never been more left widely open for Ruby to reemerge in the Descendants franchise, telling us more of a story and providing us with more of a backstory than ever before. We know the Queen of Hearts, before her transformation into an evil villain, was a very sweet person, and Ruby put a stronger exemplification on just how much of a profound impact kindness can have on a person's life and why they do the things they do, because they're backed into proverbial corners. I'm sure we felt a lot like the Queen of Hearts after her transformation, because that's how we feel. We reach our breaking point, and sometimes we're forced to speak when, it all builds up and then we finally explode. And then when we finally explode, we're the evil person. We're the bad person in the situation. But the thing is, everybody relates to these characters because for whatever reason that you relate to them. I mean, you thought of yourself perhaps in a situation like Red was in, trying to achieve something far greater than perhaps your friends expected you to achieve. And I think that people like Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner have achieved so much rarity because of that. And I think that the best way that we can honor the legacies of these stars is by supporting them and encouraging them to continue on. Because I've seen the profound impact that all the critics have had on the hearts of people like Ruby and Kylie, reducing them to tears, and it really bothers me when I know that thousands of people who have YouTube accounts who watch these videos idolize these stars, and these stars don't deserve to be subject to this sort of pain. So because they don't deserve to be subject to this sort of pain, what we've got to do is we've got to upload more positive videos to encourage them to move on into the future, because the foreseeable future for Kylie and Ruby looks absolutely phenomenal, because I think that more opportunities are going to be presented to them. I mean, Kylie Cantrell's latest EP with Goodie Bag, Denim, and See You Tonight on it is a beautiful EP. It really introduces us to the side of Kylie Cantrell that she wants us to know about and she wants us to fall in love with. We saw that at the Worlds Collide Tour. And, watching the Worlds Collide Tour, as exciting as it was, and for me to be a part of it, I missed Ruby being on that stage, because I had seen some previous performances that Ruby offered to the Descendants franchise, and with how much meaning and how much life she gave to her previous performances as the character Bridget, I really believe that she would have been outstanding on that Worlds Collide Tour stage, and she would have been somebody that people would have drawn inspiration from. People would have been buying her merch, people would have been showing up for the Q&A more because Ruby would have been a part of it. I say this because Ruby always took the opportunity to meet and greet with each and every one of you and to connect with you, because she knew how much each and every one of you meant to her heart, and she wanted you guys to know that, and she wanted you to feel as if you were part of something special. That's why I think Ruby is so genuinely kind, and it's of extreme rarity that you come across a person like this in your everyday life, because the people who do come off as kind and sweet and gentle people sometimes aren't really what they perceive themselves for being. They're obviously wolves in sheep's clothing sometimes, and we kind of got to second guess our opinions on the people that we meet, because oftentimes you will pass by somebody and they won't even say hi to you after you say hi to them out of the kindness of your heart. I know, because I've experienced this, and I don't think anybody has to endure that kind of thing in their lifetime. It's unacceptable in my opinion. I think that everybody can make. I say this because I really believe that more people can make a consistent effort to be kinder to each other, and there is never enough stronger emphasis on just how much kindness can really impact a person's life, because you never know how much that person you're coming home with on the school bus that sits in front of you or sits in front of you in your school class would need that little bit of extra kindness and wants to see that kindness from you. And you don't really realize the profound impact it has on a person's heart until it happens to you and it happens to them. And then you feel more appreciative of that kind of thing because you offered that kindness to them that they may have been searching for their entire lifetime. And that's what Ruby really inspired us to be, is kinder to a lot of people. And to be a better person sometimes when we're kind of questioning our choices, we're kind of questioning what's happening to us. The thing is, we're all young and we still have a long way to go, I know, and I totally get that. And life really has a strange way of playing out for us. But I think it's all about the choices we make, how we spend the time that we're allocated with. Because another valuable lesson that Ruby taught us was just how precious of a commodity time actually is. And how time always runs out. Because that's the thing about time. You know, when we're trying to figure out what we're going to do with our time, what we're going to do with the rest of our lives, the thing is about time is time always elapses. And because it never fails to elapse and always runs out, it's all about the question is what are we going to do with the time that we're allocated? Because sometimes we have shorter amounts of time than we ever admit to, and time is very different for everybody. And I think that's what Descendants and Zombies has had a stronger emphasis on, just how precious of a commodity time actually is. I've known that for about 20 years, ever before Descendants became a revered franchise, but I really appreciate how they have a stronger emphasis on time and how time is really, you know, fitting into the equation more appropriately than ever before. Because if you look back at the original Cinderella trilogy, the third Cinderella movie of the trilogy was called Cinderella Twist in Time, and that's where the emphasis of time travel and going back in time had a stronger emphasis and a greater appreciation coming off the success of the previous Cinderella movies, because you had Cinderella, Cinderella 2, Dreams Come True, and Cinderella 3, Twists in Time. So that's where the time, the essence of time travel, found its way into the Rise of Red plot and developed such a beautiful story. We got to meet Ruby Rose Turner's character Bridget. We found out how much of a profound impact she would have on all of our lives and how she will never ever be forgotten because of her contribution. And now that Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland is set to take part in present-day Wonderland, I don't think anyone could ever convince me that Ruby Rose Turner can't have something to do, or you can't find something for Ruby to do in present-day Wonderland, because you really can. Even if you have to repackage your character under a new name, under a new feel, under a new vibe, there's always something for somebody to do in present-day Wonderland. With the essence of time travel being taken out of the equation, I really believe that there's still so much more for characters to do that have so much left to offer to a franchise that really this is just the beginning for. Because I think that the people saying they need to stop making Descendants movies, they need to stop writing Descendants books, I think they're just drawing a formidable conclusion, and I really can't stand that, because I know there are 600,000 people on YouTube who love this franchise so much, who want to show a greater appreciation for the stars that have meant so much to their lives, for whatever reasons they were a fan of Descendants and Zombies, because I know I'm not the only fan of Ruby Rose Turner out there that loves to talk about Ruby and loves to share in their experiences for being a Descendants and Zombies fan. That's what makes this YouTube channel so special, is we have so many very different fans of Descendants and Zombies subscribing to this YouTube channel all the time who are finding these videos and seeing the greater appreciation for Descendants and Zombies that is being showcased. One of the biggest reasons why I fell in love with the Descendants franchise was because of Ruby. And I've always wanted to really put it out there that Ruby Rose Turner has a brighter future than perhaps a lot of the Descendants and Zombies stars. Now, I know not everybody is a fan of Ruby, and everybody feels different about stars like Kylie and Malia and Dove and Sophia. And I appreciate that, because that's what creates and presents diversity. So because that creates and presents an opportunity to see diversity in the Descendants franchise, what that means is everybody feels different about the franchise. Because if everybody felt the same about the Descendants franchise, it wouldn't really be that effective. It wouldn't have such a profound impact on all of our hearts. But because everybody feels differently about the Descendants franchise, that's what makes this franchise so special. And that's why it's forever and always held a special place in our hearts, because 50% of you love Bridget, 50% of you love Red, 50% of you love Chloe. And I really believe that this franchise will forever and always hold a special place in our hearts because of how we feel about each individual character, for having such a profound impact on each and every one of our hearts, which I can never seem to say thank you enough for all the love and support you've shown this YouTube channel. For those of you who have been subscribed to this YouTube channel for what feels like forever, because forever is a really long time, you know that I am the biggest fan of Ruby Rose Turner in the world, and I have the biggest crush in the world on Ruby Rose Turner. And I want to say thank you guys so much for having supported me in my journey being a fan of Descendants and Zombies, because I was able to produce this show for each and every one of you and talk about my favorite characters, my favorite moments, my favorite songs, without having to rank them, because I feel like a lot of people in these reaction videos, for the purpose of recording a reaction video, they will rank songs. I have never felt that was the approach that I wanted to take. If I was going to tell you what my favorite song was, I was just going to state that it was If Only, and I was going to tell you because it was a beautiful scene, because it really exemplified how much Mel had fallen for Ben at that point in the franchise, and how much of a story it was going to be and mean to our hearts. When they sang the song Red in the opening dance number of the Rise of Red franchise, it meant so much to each and every one of us because we felt fearless. We felt like nothing could stop us from achieving our dreams. There's always a reason behind why you love a song, like Life is Sweeter When You Are, encouraging us to be that much kinder to people in our own lives, because we never know how much further of a reach kindness is going to have on a person's heart. And that's what Ruby Rose Turner taught us, along with how precious of a commodity time actually is, because time never fails to run out. That's why Descendants and Zombies has forever and always held a special place in my heart, and will continue to for the foreseeable future, because I really do believe that so many people have fallen in love with this franchise for so many reasons. Not just because of Ruby Rose Turner, because perhaps you were a fan of Red and how fearless she was and how she really never cared what anybody thought of her, and all she ever wanted was the opportunity to attend Oradon Prep, which allowed her to go on to achieve something far greater than what her mother ever wanted her to amount to, because that was just being the greatest villain of all time. And we saw how much profound impact bullying can have on a person because of the exemplification put behind that by what Ruby offered to the franchise, which is something I will never ever forget. You know, I will forever and always believe that Ruby should have been the live-action Rapunzel for the live-action Tangled. I don't care how many conversations I hear about Sabrina Carpenter donning that role. Because if Ruby wants to play Rapunzel, she said with an open heart and an open mind she's wanted to play Rapunzel. Give her the chance to play Rapunzel and allow her to run with that and see what Ruby can do with it, because I'm sure she's going to turn a lot of heads if ever presented the opportunity. And because of her playing the live-action Rapunzel, because of how sweet and genuinely kind she is, and because of her curiosity, because I've never seen someone so curious such as Ruby, I think she's going to be able to bring it to life in a way that Sabrina Carpenter or Dove Cameron perhaps never could. I will forever advocate for Ruby being the live-action Rapunzel, because Rapunzel's always been a revered and iconic princess in my heart, and one of my all-time favorites ever since 2010, because I thought Mandy Moore did a fabulous job bringing that character's voice to life, with her voice being lended to the Tangled soundtrack. And that's why Tangled generated anywhere from 250 million to 320 million in the box office and became the most successful franchise of that generation and that year. I think that Ruby would do a fabulous job carrying on the legacy of Mandy Moore. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a big fan of Ruby and Mandy Moore collectively ever since 1999, because I was there when I saw Mandy Moore's, and I heard Mandy Moore's first single, Candy, off her premiere album. I'm saying this because that's a fact. I'm saying that the fact that Ruby Rose Turner is constantly shut down for roles is never recognizing her fullest potential. And today on her birthday, that's why I feel so honored to be in your guys' presence to talk about Ruby in the way that she was forever and always meant to be talked about. Because I think that if we're going to talk about your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars, then that is exactly what we should do, is talk about them and showcase them for their true value and their true worth every single time, and shy away from the criticism and really shut that out of our lives, because we see way too many videos with criticism about your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars uploaded to YouTube every single night. And because I know somebody is sitting on their tablet and they are watching Descendants and Zombies videos and they can't find the content they appreciate and they fall in love with, the content they grew up with, that's all I've ever wanted to do, is I've wanted to provide you with the opportunity to fall in love with videos and to draw inspiration from these videos. Because if I couldn't give you anything to run away with from each video I upload, then I would feel like I'm letting you down, and most of all letting myself down as the host of this show, because that's what gives us a greater appreciation between the audience and the host, is by giving you what you want. because you guys are basically what the YouTube algorithm promotes all the time. And I know you love songs like Life is Sweeter When You Are, Fight of Our Lives, If Only, Ways to Be Wicked, Rotten to the Core, because I remember seeing those music videos. They were the opening dance numbers of the franchises to begin with, and I think Rotten to the Core was a song that set everything in motion for Descendants, because we didn't know quite what to make of these characters, like Jay and Evie and Carlos and Mel. We just knew that they were VK kids. We didn't know much about their story. And that's what makes us so intrigued about Descendants and Zombies, is because there's still so much more to uncover, so much more to discover and to be a part of, because this is really history that we are part of, and it's something to be really excited about. You know, I don't know if we're going to see Ruby be a part of the Descendants franchise ever again, but one can only hope that she's going to be a part of it, and I will forever encourage Ruby to reascend and reemerge in the Descendants franchise, because I, for one, believe that her story is far from over. And as long as her story is far from over, there is still so much more of a story to be told, and one that I've never felt so intrigued about or so excited to be a part of. To be your voice of Descendants and Zombies has become the greatest honor of my life, and will forever and always hold a special place in my heart. I have some more Ruby Rose Turner videos set to go and upload to this YouTube channel, so watch for those videos to drop as we celebrate the 20th birthday of Ruby Rose Turner all throughout today. Of course, this is October 16th, 2025, and last year, my videos about Ruby Rose Turner's 19th birthday received such a huge response. We are doing it all over again. And just yesterday, we put up over 1,000 views on this YouTube channel, which blows my mind. In just one day, collectively, over 1,000 views. I don't know if it had anything to do with my videos on Ruby and Kylie and my thoughts on Descendants and Zombies, but thank you guys so much for blowing this YouTube channel up and making it the most revered and most popular Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel in the world right now. I'm your host, Jonathan Clarke. You have been watching the latest episode of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs. Happy 20th birthday to you, Ruby. You deserve to have a wonderful day, and I hope your day amounts to everything your dreams could ever wanted it to, because you are a wonderful person who touches so many hearts and so many lives for your impact on the Descendants franchise, but not only that, just for being a part of all of our lives and having such a profound impact on each and every one of our hearts, because there are thousands of Ruby Rose Turner fans out there who have yet to discover this YouTube channel, and I'm excited to meet you guys. So if you could take a moment to hit my subscribe button, hit my like button, and ring my bell to stay up to date with notifications on this YouTube channel, I would forever be appreciative of each and every one of you for coming along with me on this incredible journey as we discover the power behind Descendants and Zombies and all of its stars and all of our favorite moments. Thank you guys so much from my heart to yours. This truly has been an experience that I will never ever forget. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upload this video to my YouTube channel. I don't know how much of a reach each video individually has every single time I upload one. It's really a hit or miss for me, but I know that I will forever and always support and love Ruby Rose Turner just like each and every one of you. Because we're all Descendants and Zombies fans for whatever reasons we are. We are here watching Descendants and Zombies videos on YouTube because we are fans of the franchise. And the only way to be in this life is to be sweeter when all of us are. Because life really is sweeter when all of us are. And all we have to do in the foreseeable future is stay calm and zombie on. Keep watching for the latest Ruby Rose Turner video to drop throughout today on this YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. And we will talk more about Descendants and Zombies into the foreseeable future.